Did you know that most women do Kegels incorrectly? I see the same mistakes over and over as a pelvic floor physical therapist. And I'm going to teach you my top 3 mistakes and my top 3 ways to fix them in this video. Okay, the number one mistake that people make when they try and do Kegels on their own without instruction is that they bear down. They might think they're lifting, but they bear down. So, what does that mean? When you do a Kegel, you should feel a lift internally. Things should close and pull up and in vaginally. And when you relax, it should go back to start. Many women, when they do try to do a Kegel, what they do instead is they push outward. And this can make symptoms actually worse. That could actually, if you have prolapse, that can make prolapse symptoms worse, and it can put a lot of pressure on your pelvic floor. So the fix to that is to do a little visual, I can't talk, visualization. I want you to think like you're holding back urine. So if you're sitting on a toilet and you're slowing the flow, to do that, you're pulling your pelvic floor muscles up and in. And then to let that flow go again, you're relaxing. So visualize that that's what you're doing when you do a Kegel, and you should feel a lift inside. And if you're still not sure, reach out to a healthcare provider so that you can get the correct guidance on making sure that you are doing a Kegel correctly. Now, the second biggest mistake people make when they do Kegels is they might go up just fine, but they don't relax and they don't leave enough time to relax. So to fix this, I always want you, when you do a Kegel, if you're going to hold that Kegel for 3 seconds, I want you to relax for 3 seconds too. You always want to think of a contraction in both directions, upward and then the release, the letting go. Okay, the third most common mistake I see when people are trying to do Kegels is that they use other muscles of their body as they try and tense their pelvic floor. So the areas that I see people tense the most are going to be their bottom. Okay, so let's say you're laying on your bed and you're trying to do a Kegel. If you see your bottom lift up off the floor, almost like you're doing a bridge, then you're not really doing a Kegel. You're substituting your stronger gluteal muscles to try and do the lift. You might see that you tense your thighs. So you can put your hands on your thighs and see, okay, as you do a Kegel, are you feeling a lot of tension there? If you are, then you want to step back a minute, realize that those areas are supposed to be relaxing, and try your Kegel again without generating any tension in those muscles. Because using the muscles that are around the pelvic floor doesn't really help your pelvic floor. Usually your pelvic floor is the weakest kind of link, and if you're squeezing your bottom, your pelvic floor can't come in effectively. So you're not really doing the strengthening that you need to help whatever symptom you're trying to work on. Maybe it's pelvic pressure, maybe it's leakage. If you're trying to strengthen your pelvic floor, you're probably doing it for a reason. And if you're using these other muscles, your buttock muscles or your thigh muscles, or even overusing your abdominal muscles, then that can take away from the actual strengthening you're trying to do of your pelvic floor. Now, these mistakes are super common, but they're also super fixable. Because we want to make sure, if you're going to take the time to actually do Kegels, we want to make sure you're getting the results that you're looking for, right? If you're doing Kegels to stop leakage and you know you're weak, then doing Kegels incorrectly are not going to get you there. So try these fixes. If you still need assistance, then you can get step-by-step guidance in my online course called Mastering Kegels. In that course, we go very detailed into all the different things that go into doing Kegels correctly, including how many do you do? How often do you do them? How long do you hold them? Should I even be doing Kegels? All of those details that no one really tells us when they say, just go do your Kegels. So reach out if you need any assistance in strengthening your pelvic floor.